Hey Sarah, overthinking is something everyone experiences at some point, right? It can feel like a
Absolutely, Hamza. Overthinking often sneaks in when we're stressed or uncertain. But understanding why it happens can be the first step to managing it.
mental loop you just can't escape. Definitely. For me, overthinking usually stems from wanting everything to be perfect. It's like I'm trying to control outcomes that I can't possibly predict.
That's such a common feeling. We tend to focus on what-if scenarios rather than what's actually in our control. Have you noticed how that impacts your decision-making?
Oh, big time. Sometimes, I'll spend so much time analyzing a decision that I miss opportunities. What about you? How do you handle it?
I've been there too. One thing I've learned is the importance of grounding myself in the present moment. Breathing exercises really help me refocus.
Breathing, that's interesting. I've heard of mindfulness practices, but I've never tried them consistently. Do you have a specific method?
Yes. A simple technique is the 4-7-8 method: inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and exhale for 8 seconds. It's calming and helps break the overthinking cycle.
That sounds doable. I guess it's about breaking the mental pattern, right? What else can we do to stop overthinking?
Absolutely. Another strategy is journaling. When I write down my thoughts, it's easier to identify which concerns are valid and which are just noise.
I like that. Sometimes, just seeing your thoughts on paper can make them feel less overwhelming. Do you set a specific time for journaling?
Not always, but I try to journal in the evening. It's a great way to reflect and clear my mind before bed. Have you tried anything like that?
I haven't, but I'm intrigued. I usually distract myself with TV or my phone, but I know that's not the healthiest approach.
True, distractions can be a double-edged sword. They might work temporarily, but addressing the root of overthinking is more effective in the long run.
So true. It's also about self-compassion, I think. Overthinking often comes with self-criticism, and I'm learning to be kinder to myself.
That's a powerful realization, Hamza. Giving ourselves grace and accepting that we can't control everything is a huge step toward peace of mind.
Thanks, Sarah. I feel like these strategies could really help. To wrap things up, what's one key takeaway for our listeners?
I'd say, recognize that overthinking is normal, but you don't have to let it control you. Start with small, actionable steps, like breathing or journaling, and build from there.
Perfect. Thanks, Sarah, for sharing your insights. And to our listeners, remember, overthinking is just a habit, and habits can be changed.
Thank you, Hamza. And to everyone listening, be patient with yourselves. You've got this.
You know, Sarah, it's also worth mentioning how our environment plays a role. Clutter or too many distractions can amplify overthinking.
That's such a great point, Hamza. Simplifying our surroundings can create mental space, making it easier to focus on what really matters.
And speaking of focus, limiting information overload is key. I've started scheduling my time on social media to avoid the endless scrolling trap.
That's a smart move. Setting boundaries with technology not only reduces overthinking but also improves overall mental well-being.
Another thing I've been trying is talking to someone I trust. Just voicing my concerns out loud often helps me see things more clearly.
I agree 100%. A supportive conversation can provide new perspectives and remind us we're not alone in this.
So true. It's amazing how much better we feel just by connecting with others. Any final tips for tackling overthinking, Sarah?
Yes, Hamza. I'd encourage everyone to celebrate small wins. Every step you take to manage overthinking, no matter how small, is progress worth acknowledging.
And Hamza, how about this, practicing gratitude? I've noticed that when I focus on things I'm thankful for, it shifts my mindset away from overthinking.
That's a brilliant addition, Sarah. gratitude does have a way of grounding us in the positive, reminding us of what's going right.
Speaking of grounding, I've also found that engaging in physical activity, like a walk or yoga, can help clear my mind. It's amazing what movement can do.
You're spot on, Hamza. Exercise not only clears the mind but also releases endorphins, which naturally boost our mood and reduce stress.
Lastly, I think recognizing triggers is essential. Overthinking often follows certain patterns or events. Once I started identifying my triggers, it became easier to tackle them.
That's so true. Awareness is the first step to change. Once you know your triggers, you can prepare strategies to counter them before they spiral.